The Loaded Radio in Your Face podcast.
Hey, it's Scott Penfold, and we're back for another edition of the Loaded Radio in Your Face podcast. And this week on the podcast, talking with the one and only Trevor Strnad, frontman from the Black Dahlia Murder. And they've got the new album out now called Nightbringers. Killer stuff from them. And Trevor, great having you on the show with us, man. How are things going?
Days here before all the action starts up again. Kicking off on the 5th, and the album comes out on the 6th.
Now, the cuts I've heard on the album sound great so far, and I can't wait to hear the whole thing, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Now, the band has essentially been you and Brian since the beginning, but you've got some new blood in there, being Brandon Ellis, formerly of Cannabis Corpse. What was his contribution, and how did he get involved?
He's made a major contribution, man. It's been beyond our expectations, actually. But he got involved as Ryan was stepping down. Ryan Knight, our last guitar player, he'd been in the band 7 years. He hand-selected Brandon to take his place. And Ryan was cool enough to warn us about his leaving like a year and a half in advance. So we basically had every tool possible to make the transition as smooth as humanly possible, you know. So we quietly took Brandon on tour, didn't really blow up our own spot about it because, you know, fans tend to react negatively to a member change. So we kind of kept it quiet, you know. We took him out on the road, and he just was amazing, man. He just segued into the band so seamlessly. And he's just brought so much to the fold. It's been incredible, man. We didn't expect him to write for the band, but he wrote 4 songs out of the 9. Just the solos that he's laid down has just been mind blowing. I think that it's been to like a new level for us, man. So, and he just really, you know, jumped right in and took the reins. In the studio, he kind of took command during the end of the mix there, was making sure everything came out perfect in terms of guitars and EQ. And he just knows all the frequencies, and he's got a real ear for the studio. And so, you know, he's just wise beyond his years, man. He just turned 25. I'm 36, if that helps, you know, put it into perspective. I'm the oldest in the band. So it does feel new. It does feel really exciting and fresh. And, you know, we're trying to keep up with him on stage and off, you know what I mean? So I feel really honored to have him come into the fold. And it seems like the beginning of something tremendous, you know, and this album is definitely a testament to that.
Yeah, the guy shreds. Just can't wait to hear him live with you guys.
Yeah, man, we're definitely coming up to Canada. It's been a minute. I love playing in Canada. You guys I agree. I definitely love it. So, and you guys are lifers. I feel like you're, I don't know, in the same way that Europeans are, you know, you stick with it.
Now you're just coming off the road with the Summer Slaughter tour, playing along with bands like Dying Fetus and Oceano. How was that experience?
Oh, it was awesome, man. You know, aside from the lineup being super awesome, we were playing our album Nocturnal, our 3rd record, in full. And we also debuted the title track Nightbringers live before we dropped the single. So it was awesome, you know, something old and something new. Fans are really, really excited. I think that overall, I think that Nocturnal is kind of the fan favorite. You know, it was easy to see that was the record they wanted us to play in full. Yeah, you know, we just thought it'd be a cool way to honor the fans and, you know, get people pumped. And we also felt like we'd kind of juiced, you know, Abysmal for all it was worth. You know, having done this would have been our 3rd summer tour on it. It just seemed like a way to get people really excited and, you know, segue into this new era. Also, you know, get Brandon in front of a lot of people, and I think he really impressed everyone. And so, yeah, it was a huge success, man, you know, and, you know, also just an honor to be alongside those bands, you know. I love Dying Fetus. I love their new album. I think it's the best thing they've ever done. Exciting to watch them at this time, too. Yeah, it was fun all around, man. It's definitely a big success.
Now, taking it back to the new album, Nightbringers, the title track, great sounding track, man. What can you tell me about that one?
Well, you know, as soon as I heard that song, I thought, wow, this is a standout. You know, this is something different for us. Just that kind of playful, circusy, evil riff. And I really like the directness of the song, too. You know, as soon as it starts, you're hearing the chorus, but with no vocals over it, you know. You know, we pretty much keep the song structure is pretty much like a pop song or a rock song, you know, very much verse, chorus, verse. And, you know, that's just what we've always done, you know. But that song, I thought, wow, this just has that vibe of being like a really strong title track and something that would define the album. You know, and lyrically, Nightbringers, they're us. They're the people that are in this hidden world of metal that have had the awakening, basically. And it's, you know, night is the time that we thrive. It's where everything awesome happens in life. It's where everything metal happens, you know. Horror, you know, anything macabre happens under the guise of night. And, you know, it's basically championing what normality fears, you know, what the Christian standard fears. And, you know, it's encouraging free thought. It's encouraging self-reliance and rejection of the idea that there's some kind of cosmic spanking waiting for you at the end of life. I just want everyone to realize the animal that they are and go with it, you know?
Now, you've called metal the enemy of Christianity before and said metal is for free thinkers. Expand on that a bit if you can.
Well, you know, I've seen it just be hand in hand with the devil since day one, basically. You know what I mean? It's so tied to the macabre. It's so tied to horror. I mean, death metal especially. And, you know, I look at it as just being a villain's music. And we're willingly being the villain. We're the villain of, you know, of all these things that we're rejecting. And it's basically, you know, Satan is the name given to it just to scare them the most, basically. That's why, you know what I mean? It's just what they fear the most. But, you know, I am an atheistic person. I don't believe in anything. And that's my kind of satanic view, really, is just, it's a self-reliance. It's an inner strength. It's a rejection of theistic ideas. I just want people to, I don't know, find the same strength in this music that I do, you know?
And personally, I find when people look at metal, death metal in particular, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And it's actually a very positive experience and very empowering.
Oh, I definitely feel that, and I feel like there's a big misnomer about it. You know, people think, well, violent music equals violent, corrupted people. You know what I mean? But it's all about togetherness. I feel, if anything, we have a closer knit kind of network than a lot of different scenes out there. You know, our shows are a totally positive experience. My mission is to come there, make you forget about how shitty your life is for an hour, and see you smile, see you spill some beer on your friends, get on stage dive, sing into the microphone, and just have a freaking good time. You know, it's all about bringing people together. And that's my world, man. I, you know, was a very introverted person throughout school and kind of a late bloomer. And this era of my life, I've just dove in head first into metal, being surrounded by it all the time, just being super involved. And it's given me all my strength in life and all of my, you know, I've just come out, you know, as who I really am through this entire experience, you know.
And metal was always my comfort. I mean, when I was young, I would just go home after, you know, a shitty day and crank Iron Maiden or Judas Priest, and that just made everything okay. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And, you know, finding that first, you know, like when you first, like, take the cap off and kind of dive into the world there, it's like, wow, this is what I've been looking for, you know, and it's so freaking vital to people. It's so important that, you know, I like that it's misunderstood by other people. You know what I mean? Like it's a club. It's our clubhouse. You know, it's sacred.
Yeah, it's for people that get it. If you don't even bother.
Right. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's us, the Nightbringers, man. Those who get it.
Now, another cool track on the album is Matriarch. What can you tell me about that one?
Oh, well, that's one of Brandon's songs. That's the first taste that anyone has had of Brandon's own music. He's been through lots of professional bands. He plays in Arsis still. He was in Cannabis Corpse. He filled in for Silosis. He filled in for, Fintroll. You know, he's been very busy in his 25 years, but this is the first time anyone is hearing his own music. And I don't think the world's ready, man. He's written some really incredible, and you know, Matriarch is an action-packed song, man. That's a very neoclassical shredder right there, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for that kid, man. So, you know, I'm really excited for the world to get a load of this guy.
You know, looking back at your albums, this is album number 8. 6 of your albums actually charted on Billboard. Is that something that's important to you as a band?
It's not, you know, really not being recognized by the regular world of music really isn't that important to me. But on the other hand, seeing how it's been growing, it is a cool measuring bar. It is a cool, you know, way of knowing that things are getting better. So I am thankful to know that we're climbing the charts, but it is not my ultimate goal by any means. You know, the goal is to fucking make good music, to make the fans happy and keep them coming, but really exciting right now. I mean, they've said that the album has the most pre-sales of any in Metal Blade history up to this point. So, I mean, it's a sign of things to come. And if we hit the charts really hard and make some kind of a ripple, and bring new people in because of it, then hell yeah, I'm all for it,
For me, I feel sort of torn about the whole thing because, I mean, it's cool to see the recognition, but at the same time, it's like, this is our thing. So there's, kind of a conflict there.
Right, but it's weird. And the only reason any of us started showing up was when the music industry basically died. You know what I mean? The playing field got so leveled that all kinds of music started showing up on there. You know what I mean? Sales had been so flattened out. So, it's, I don't know, like I said, I don't think it's probably important to Cannibal Corpse either, really. They're just got their head down doing their thing, kind of. Like I said, I don't know, we haven't compromised in any way to get through this point. I feel like we've definitely stayed the course from what we set out to do from the initial, statement by Unhallowed. And, I mean, I'm definitely proud, at this very moment, and very excited to see how the first week plays out.
Now, the new album, Nightbringers, is available now. Dude, hey, can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us today on Loaded Radio.
Oh, dude, no worries, man. I really appreciate your enthusiasm, man. I hope we get to meet up for an adult beverage out there. And
a big thanks to Trevor Strnad from Black Dahlia Murder for joining us on the Loaded Radio In Your Face podcast this week. Don't forget, Nightbringers is available now, dropped October the 6th via Metal Blade. Check it out for yourself. And don't forget, check out loadedradio.com for all your hard rock and metal needs and the 24-hour stream. And hey, we'll talk to you again next week.
Loaded.